Hey everybody, here we are today. We're gonna go out to the Fairvale Reef, which is way over here. I just want to show you guys kind of what it looks like here in the winter time. And right now we got the ice fishing shacks are out. So this is a little ice fishing village they put here, and they're fishing for mostly smelt. And then further out here on the other side of the reef, they're mostly fishing for hake. So the reason that they're out there is that you get into some really deep water. It's about 150 feet deep on the other side of that. So the reef, it's basically just an underwater mountain that doesn't really reach the surface. And it comes up to about 6 feet, but it'll come from 150 feet on one side up to 6 feet, and then back down to about 38 feet until it comes to this side of the river. So we're gonna go over there and check it out, but I thought it was kind of neat that these guys are out here doing that ice sailing. They really fly too when they get going. Yeah, so just going along, skating by myself, taking you guys along for the ride. There, we're past all the rough spots. So where everybody's going with their four-wheelers and trucks, the ice is all frozen, bumpy, so it's kind of hard to skate on that, but right here it's perfect. Rough spots. Right here, you can see people are out ice fishing, leaving their garbage about. I'll take that with me. Little fish here. Yeah, still didn't freeze over too much, so this is probably a pretty, not that old of a hole. Yeah, it looks like they are using prawns for bait. So just like a shrimp. Little baby fish. Let's keep going. Yeah, it's rough. Rough ice surface. So here we are. We made it to the reef marker. So this marks basically the top of a gigantic underwater mountain, and on this side here where they're hake fishing, it's going to drop off to about 150 feet deep, and then on this side here it's going to go to about 40 feet, and then it'll stay like that all the way to the shore. So pretty crazy, pretty deep trench right here. We'll go over, try to ask some of these hake fishermen, see if they caught anything, see if they'll let us see their catch. So yeah, these are hake. So that's what they look like. They're kind of related to a codfish. So if you know what a cod looks like, similar, way smaller though. And these over here, these are smelt. So they're catching smelt out here too, as well. So that's what mostly those people over there, they're fishing for. Everyone out here is probably trying to catch these hake. But really, whatever you can catch is great. Sometimes they'll catch mud sharks out here, as well as flounder, because right down here, just around that corner, that's the way to the ocean. So this water here, it's brackish, so part fresh, part salt. So when you get down below the fresh water layer, you're into salt. So it's just as salty as the ocean, so you'll get this mixture of species. That you get these freshwater species, you also get these saltwater species that you can catch. So you never know. So you put that line in, you don't know where you'll catch. Yeah, it's a long way down, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice too. Oh, that's great, man. So when you guys fish these, you put them, so you just sink it right to the bottom and you're fishing right off the bottom?
Bottom, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome to grab two on one line. Yeah, it was nice of those guys to let us see them catch those fish. There, now you know what a hake looks like. So we're on our way over right now to a place called Long Island. So this is Long Island here in the Kennebecasis River. And it's called that, obviously it's a Long Island. Over here, this smaller one, that's called Mather's Island. And people used to live out here. Over here you can see all this hardwood without the leaves on it right now. That all used to be a field. So not that long ago, people were out here living and farming on this island. And what's cool is that you'd have a lot of, like say Irish Catholics, Irish Protestants that lived out here. And they actually shared the same church. So back in the day, when they used to care about that a lot more, it was nice that this community, they could come together and they could worship together. It's a pretty tight-knit community. You can imagine in the wintertime you have to wait until the ice freezes in order to come to the mainland. And then you have that time in the spring, you can't come back and forth. And then in the summertime they would use river boats or other types of ships. They would come up to here, and there was a jetty on this side and then a jetty on Mather's Island. And that's how I guess they would get their farming products off the island in the summer. Or in the fall too as well, I guess. But now it's mostly just cottages. But some of these cottages, the land that the cottages are on have been owned by those same people. So the same descendants of those farmers still own property here. And they maintain these camps. We're heading over there. We're gonna go see this waterfall, and when we get closer I'll explain more about it. This ice is way smoother. Windy. But yeah, hard to believe it's about 150 feet deep underneath me right now. Yeah, it's great. You can skate backwards on this ice. Awesome. Hey puppies. Go back home. Couple over there hanging out. Dogs want to come over and say hi. So here we are. We made it. So this waterfall, this ice waterfall behind me is called Bridal Veil Falls, and it forms here every winter time. And in the summer, this is just a wet spot. So there's no real waterfall unless you come out here after a torrential rain. You won't see water really flowing off this at all. It's just wet. But then in the winter, when it gets cold, it freezes up and becomes this waterfall. and you can see just how tall it is. Let me see if I can bring you back a bit, give you more of an angle. Yeah, so you see how tall it is? It's probably roughly around 70 feet in height. So really impressive. Maybe one of the most impressive waterfalls, ice waterfalls in southern New Brunswick, I would say. Right here, it's a tidal line. So because we're so close to the Bay of Fundy, this river system, right where we're at, it still gets about 3 feet of tides. When you go out to St. John, it's about 28-foot tides. So here, it'll rise, fall 3 feet. We're roughly around high tide right now. You can see along the rock face there, the tide line where it's frozen. So if you came back here later on, maybe it would be up, or maybe it'd be further down, depending on the tidal range, or depending on the tide. Yeah, a really cool spot. If you come from the mainland and you want to walk out here, it takes about 45 minutes to walk. If you skate it, it's going to be about 15 minutes. If you want to come out here, just be careful. Make sure that the ice is thick enough. I mean, today I'm here, but there's already cars and trucks and stuff out on the ice. So, you know, it's safe enough for a person to walk, but depending on the year, I mean, you don't want to end up falling through, hurt yourself or hurt one of your family. So just be careful of that. So now, snowdrift, wow. So now, yeah, we're just gonna go along this rock face. So here you see it's all conglomerate rock. Basically, it's all this rock cemented together with this cool lichens growing on it, yellow lichens. So back on the point that I was talking about, how the water here was tidal about 3 feet. Every year there's a crack that will form all the way to the other side of the land, usually around here at the Rosse Yacht Club to Minister's Face here on Long Island. Sometimes it moves, sometimes the crack's here, sometimes the crack's off this point, but it all seems to go over there to the yacht club. As you see above me, how high these cliffs are. And people say, like, when they come here, the tide chart might say it's only about 150 feet. People with their boats, sometimes it'll come up, it'll say it's 200 feet deep right here. So this is a sheer drop off from up there down here, 150 feet. So as you see, like, the conglomerates there, you can see where it's kind of weathered, and then that's new. So you know parts have fallen off over time. Probably not in the lifetime of those trees, but it's fallen down, and it would end up making a little bit of a tsunami, I would say. Over here, exactly what I'm talking about. So this isn't from someone throwing this rock. This rock came off this face, fell down. Something I've always kind of been worried about, all these houses, like rich people buying near the water, they want that view, but then you're right beside this. And if you ever had a big enough piece come off into this water 150 feet deep, you'd end up with a tsunami wave that would come across. And I don't know how well those houses would do with a gigantic wave. But anyway, what's the chances that'll happen in our lifetime? Maybe slim to none, but there's a chance. So yeah, now we're gonna make our way back home again. Yeah, beautiful day for a skate. So there we are again, Bridal Veil Falls. So it's like, you know, the veil of a woman when she gets married. I think it's a pretty fitting name. Also, up top there, depending on the year, the ice waterfall actually be a little bit higher because you won't have that gap. It'll freeze right down, so that's what makes it a roughly 75 foot high ice waterfall. Yeah, beautiful spot, beautiful area for sure. Out here, Kennebecasis River. The other thing about Long Island is, although over here people still own their ancestral properties, over here a lot of land's actually been donated to a nature conservancy, and where Minister's Face is, that's all protected land. So they even have peregrine falcons will nest along those cliffs, I've heard. I haven't really seen any there, but apparently that's a place that sometimes they do come and they nest. So definitely we want to protect that property. And it's nice, there's no bridge over to here. So this will never really be fully developed. It'll always kind of be a cool little park here and just a remnant kind of to remind us of what this entire river system may have looked like before, you know, everyone built houses and urban development. This is kind of what this entire system looked like. There goes one of those ice sailors, I guess you call them. Yeah, I'm gonna go over and talk to Buddy with the thing I've been calling an ice sailor. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, so I'm curious. If you're curious, we're gonna go over. He's kind of stopped there. I'm gonna go ask him. So there he goes. I'm just gonna call it an ice sailor. Or you can call it ice boating. That's another name that they call it. So he's got a tack there to the wind. So I don't know if you know anything about actual sailing, but you can't come directly into the wind. You're not gonna get anything with the sail. So you have to go perpendicular to the wind, usually around, say, like around a 45 degree, 30 something degree angle, and you just fight up against the wind. But yeah, there's not really that much wind right here. It's all being stopped by this Minister's Face. Oh, there he goes. He's picking up speed. Yeah, when they start going, they really fly. But yeah, just another really cool thing that you can do out here on the river in the wintertime. You know, sailing in the summer, ice sailing in the winter. Oh, somebody with a drone going. So I learned a lot more about this ice boat, it's called. So this model here is called a D-End after Detroit News. So years ago, maybe the 1950s or even later, they had a competition to try to get the best designed ice boat for coming out and sailing on the ice. So it's kind of the same rigging. If you know sailboats, it's really similar. But yeah, they just have these skis. Kind of hard to stop, I guess. So the way that you stop these boats is really you want to just turn into the wind, just like a sailboat, and that'll take all that momentum out of the sail. But yeah, really interesting.
The actual design contest, 1936, 1937.
There, correction, 1936, 1937, Detroit News. Yeah, thank you very much. So let me see your boat for the info. Now I know what to call it from now on. So thanks again, everybody, for coming out on this little adventure. I had a lot of fun. Got to see some cool stuff. Kind of show and highlight off this area. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.